World Economic Forum has been associated with China since the beginning of its reform and opening up policy. I came to China the first time and we had our first event in 1979. So we are celebrating 40 years of cooperation. I have witnessed the great ascension of China. It has become the number 2 and soon it will be the number 1 economic power in the world.
Is it time yet for Blackrock to either trade in digital assets or digital virtual currencies, if you prefer, or to create a product for your clients?
We're not hearing any demand from any of our clients other than maybe some speculative stuff. We're being asked that question, but it's more of like a venture capital type of interchange. But we're not hearing clients saying we want to use this as an asset class. No.
It's not an institutional thing yet.
It's far from that. As I said, it's much more of a speculative platform for Asia, and it's heavily used for money laundering.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And you know I come back with that video just to make you think. And teamwork makes the dream work. That first clip again was in my Patreon. And you heard it from Klaus. China will be number 1. And we see the BRICS nations setting up. China will have that new world reserve currency. And we know it's going to be digital, backed by that digital SDR. America to Babylon is going to fall with that world reserve currency. We see the Fed printed all that money to produce inflation. Now they're going to start shrinking all this liquidity in order to destroy the global economy. Remember, the NWO caused the problem. Wait for the reaction and run in with the solution. And we know what that solution is. Blockchain gives the NWO the all-seeing eye. Cryptocurrencies allow them to program the money so they can see what, where, and when and how to buy. And it also, guys, surveillance is at an all-time high. But they got somewhere for the sheep to go. That's right, the metaverse. And we see our NFTs are changing the game, the real use cases. But remember, technology can be used for good or evil. And we see how NFTs can become avatars and digital IDs. The metaverse, this virtual world, is being set up for the sheep. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you, because he knows. When it comes to the New World Order, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
Of a 700-year-old noble family who had their castles and 20,000 cultural artifacts first stolen by the Nazis, then by the communists. But restoring stolen items to their rightful owner isn't the fairy tale that it's made out to be.
We probably covered hundreds of thousands of miles. Our objects were taken to over 100 locations, so we crisscrossed the Czech Republic to recover tens of thousands of movable objects.
So we never had any grand illusions of living in castles because the castles were in a dilapidated state. But our goal was, and our vision was, to open them to the public and make them available to a wider audience.
Now, a 27-year-old prince in Prague is turning to the blockchain to protect and preserve those historical objects.
We've taken a painting that needs restoration of some kind. There could be a hole in the canvas, it's damaged in some way, and we create an image of the NFT and sell that NFT at the price of the restoration of the piece.
They've sold NFTs that animate X-ray and infrared images so that you can see through to the invisible layers of a canvas that have been painted over.
So in the background, you can see a ghostly head, which is sort of coming out over here. And that can show you some of the underpainting, where you can see some of the work that Veronese used when he was initially painting these different figures right here. You're able to see maps in a whole new way here. You're exposing all of them at the same time through a generative art piece. And this was quite a controversial thing that we did. A lot of people don't actually like generative art because they don't see that it's in the hands of an actual artist. They think the algorithm is actually putting the thing together.
They've also minted NFTs of music composed 250 years ago by a Lobkowicz princess that never had a public performance.
She didn't receive the recognition for her musical talent historically. And so we're able to use this technology also to tell stories from history that didn't have an opportunity to be told.
It's not just about selling NFTs to support cultural monuments, but it's also looking at how do we preserve a record of our history. Blockchain technology provides an immutable record of our cultural heritage, which you can preserve on-chain. And that's something that's never been done before.
The family's also considering other applications in the metaverse. Now, it's very early days, but think renting or buying a room in a Czech palace, and the cost of that would go toward renovating the real thing. They're also looking at turning fashion in portraits from the 1500s into gaming skins.
Imagine if you could actually own one of those rooms in the metaverse. You could see what it looked like when he was living there at that time, but you're also restoring a space so that you can create a museum in the physical world that people can engage with and be inspired by Dvořák's music, not just in the digital world, but
we're going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
This effort, and China has big plans for this. They intend to seed their digital yuan into the global environment by giving it away to visitors at next winter's Olympics. When they arrive at the airport, they're going to get yuan digital wallets. They're going to receive digital yuan. They're going to use it throughout their visits to Beijing, and then they're going to take it back to their home countries. They see this as a huge advantage. Why? Because who controls the underlying protocols, who controls the underlying standards of the future of money will control the future of money.
Most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids' books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.